We'll be covering 2026's Hokum.
Portmanteau on Hocus Pocus.
Wait, really?
That might be
Portmanteau
Hokum right there.
Hey Siri, what does portmanteau mean?
That wasn't the question. I woke up very unhappy, very scared, just very scary, scared, really scary. Was I really scared? Yes. I had like weird feelings in the pit of my stomach before it even started. I'm scared.
True or false, gentlemen?
False.
The bad boys of horror are not bad.
Oh, in that case, that's going to have to be answer A, false.
Or in vaudevillian terms, that's Hokum. Because you know what, guys? We are back, baby.
They would be like, that's Hokum, you see?
See? I'm going to slap you with my Hokum stick. And then we're going to really talk business, wise guy, Pally.
And I'll definitely make sure my wife can't vote on that.
See? Because my wife has all the ring
My
on
wife.
me, see?
Borat. This is my Borat vaudevillian impression.
My wife.
Well, if you haven't figured it out by now, for the very special 30th ever episode, we'll be covering 2026's Hokum, written and directed by Irishman Damian McCarthy and starring a very curmudgeonly Adam Scott. Welcome back, the bad boys of horror. Representing the show, Two Men and a Baby, a horror movie review show where three best friends discuss a new horror movie each episode. I'm your illustrious host, Will Dubs, and as usual, I'm joined to my right by musician and horror historian Brendan Fletcher, and to my left by comedian and titular baby Abby Krinsky.
Illustrious.
More like you, the crustiest.
Oh, and you ain't the bustiest.
That's me.
Yeah.
What if I had?
Brendan's got huge jugs.
Well, you're the titular one.
Oh, that's
so,
true.
Yeah. How come we haven't started the show yet? Hit that theme song, Brendan.
Pop it right now.
2 men and a baby, oh yeah. 2 men and a motherfucking baby.
All right, let's dive right in to our schedule of scares, our itinerary scary, if you may. First, we discuss our viewing experience. Where is this 2 in a row where we all saw it together?
No, we saw Undertone. Then we didn't see Ready or Not together, which is good because Brendan would have straight up fist fought Will in the theater. And now we're back to watching a movie.
Yeah, and I think it would be nice to actually go back watching it separate.
Yeah,
Okay,
probably
we
will.
don't have to come all the way to Clifton to see you, dog.
It was fun.
No,
We had
but-
a great time. Stopped at Applebee's. We had a little taste of some beautiful, beautiful boneless, and hopped on over to the Clifton Commons and enjoyed ourselves thoroughly.
We're 2 stops away from getting to know the Applebee's waiter names, you know? We're 2 stops away from being the women
Dubs
that we
was
made
trying
best friends
to
with.
push our podcast on the bartender. Bartender said, I can't listen to podcasts. He's like, I can't listen to podcasts because last time I was listening to a podcast and I literally killed a guy on the
Yeah,
job.
what did he was like, one time I tried to multitask by listening to music and I fucking I did horrible at my job.
Yeah.
3 people died.
Listen, us bartenders.
Meanwhile, his hands were moving, doing a bunch
Yeah.
of things. Well,
Us bartenders, one thing, we make drinks, you throw in a podcast, someone's going to die.
Will got a poolie.
it was adorable.
Shout
actually.
out to Applebee's. It's like an inflatable pool cup. I'll post a picture right now. And yeah, and Brendan got a beer and I got food.
And it was the first time I ever ordered AMC mozzarella sticks ahead of time. That's how good I got.
And
to,
it still
that's
wasn't
in the
ready
future.
in time.
Yeah, I also added one more than I meant to, so I had
And 3 orders of
3
mozzarella
orders
sticks.
of mozzarella
and chicken
sticks.
tenders.
We sit down in the theater, and Dubs has a giant brown paper bag full of different
Yeah,
goodies.
pretty much got a DoorDash.
Well, I was sharing with Dana. Shout out to Dana for the photos. Also, she
Yeah, Dana. Yeah,
took some.
bangers. And so anyway, he sits down, and I just knew it was going to be a long movie full of audio. And I'm not talking about the movie. I'm talking about the people around me.
Brendan is so freaking sensitive to sound at the movie.
which
It
is-
is crazy.
It's wild because this will come up in Baby in the Corner, but the one thing that you didn't notice was Abby the jumping bean through the movie. Like he elbowed me so many
I
times.
noticed.
Brendan
was the
noticed
one-
the
movie.
RPMs the fan was going at in the
Yeah, yeah.
ceiling, dude. You
You'd
don't
be
think
like,
he
"Did
noticed
you-"
me jumping?
So anyway, this will give you some bit of our watching experience. As you guys know, I'm a bit sensitive to different audios and different kind of vibes going
might be
around
autistic, actually.
around me
That was not a
in the
bit.
movie theater. And so Abby I lent him a pencil to take notes, and he was.
I asked for a pen.
It might as well have been a rock and a chisel the way this dude was.
He gave me a golf pencil, first of all. A tiny little golf pencil.
An open notes a final exam the next morning.
Abby had like the old school like legal pad that's like a foot and a half long.
It's true.
Which is actually smart because it's very hard to write in the dark and not look away. But
well, Abby was killing it because at one point he was just looking down at.
I never looked down.
Okay, maybe not, but he was. Oh no, sorry. You never looked down, but you were writing.
Down upon you.
Yeah. Well, that's hard because you're short. But he just was looking at the screen and just going.
It is a really good impression.
And
Brendan listens to a lot of ASMR, so it makes sense he'd be good at making it.
Yeah. Anyway, but it was fun.
I just don't know what's worse, like you being mad that he didn't bring something to write with, or that you gave him a golf pencil,
Give me a mini
like a
golf
3.5 inch,
I
and then you
biggest regret
accepted
of my
it.
life.
Wow.
But also,
Will knew it was 3.5 inches quick. That's interesting. No, but to be fair, in the middle of the movie, Brendan leans over and goes, "Yo, can you stop that?" and then we both definitely had a moment in our mind where we were like, "Okay, all right, that just happened." I'm proud of you. No, I'm glad you did.
No, I said it a little more respectfully. I said,
you
"Yo,
did.
sorry, it's just really distracting."
Yeah,
the
but
pencil.
you said it like with the tone of like, "I fucking hate you."
Ooh.
I do.
But no, I'm glad you did because
that came through though.
What?
That came through that time?
Oh, it came through.
Oh, he got the
Crystal
message loud and clear. It
trying
was
to-
written loud.
Trying to conceal that. I was trying to
Can you
conceal that
shut
the
up?
best I could.
It appeared like it's funny that like the noise bothered you, but I remember the first time you started taking notes, it was like at
And my boy Neil taking notes.
Alamo, right? And
First
we had
time I
already
started taking notes. I've been taking notes since we started.
no, like the very beginning of the show.
Yeah,
And the
yeah.
first episode, you talk about Happer movies and how clever you are when it comes to not looking at the
yes,
movie.
yeah.
So what I was worried about is that you'd all of a sudden start writing about the well-lit dim corner turn and
no, you're right.
for the moment right before a jump scare. And I'm pretty sure very early on, that one time I like kind of flicked you on the shoulder and now, yeah, you really do not look down.
I don't look down, which means
Which
my notes
makes-
are pretty useless.
But also makes the legal pad make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
With the pen.
But I did at one point when I was really scared as a rational or as a way to comfort myself, I just was writing Jumpman, and that's probably when Brendan was like, "Okay, bro."
Wait, you actually were?
I
running
just
that?
literally wrote Jumpman because I was terrified.
Yeah,
Spoiler.
Nothing bothered me. If anything, Abby elbowed me probably like 4 times.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I
But-
was careful to
but
not
that
touch,
made it-
Brendan with my elbow. So
That was like a 4D or a 4 Abby experience because, like, I'm like, oh, it's coming. And then it happens and I get a millisecond and then I get hit in real life. And then I'm like, oh, shit.
yeah, I'm
that's-
sorry. I'm not
No,
putting
it's
it
good.
on, just so you guys know.
No, I know you gasped.
No, it's great. It makes it kind of validates the entire premise of the show.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the way we actually kick off this itinerary scary, this agenda side, if I may, is
You may not.
we each go around and we give our own synopses in one sentence only before providing the official one from Rotten Tomatoes so that folks know what the movie is actually about. Who wants to go first?
We need to synopsize you talking about our synopsis.
That was shorter. I didn't say anything about
pretty long.
pizzazz or
Okay.
flair.
All right,
or...
fine. Go, Brendan. Hit us with the.
Oh, you want me to go first? Oh,
Oh,
yeah, sure. Let me just pop this puppy up on my old noticias.
I do feel like I'm like a mom where I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Do you have somewhere more important to be? Where
I was
you're like,
looking for my
he's been on his phone the whole.
All right.
He's prepping.
Everyone, shut up. This one goes out to just everyone, to be honest. Fiction writer Ohm travels to Ireland to put his mother's soul to rest, but in the process, awakens the ghosts of his past. Pretty simple.
Wow.
Just tie it up neatly. Don't. It's fine. Don't.
Don't applaud too much. It's fine. Okay, Dubs.
Guilt is a dish best served via dumbwaiter.
Felt like it'd be more of a play on cold there, but I get what you did there. I get what you
Love
did.
that. Love that.
All right. I mean, I don't really have one. Mine is just Ireland seems scary.
Irish folklore, man. It's a big deal. out here in the horror
We've been
scene.
talking about the folklore.
Oh, you been working on that accent?
No, that's all I can say.
Okay.
Dude, I wish if I could come back into any type of story. If I wished I could come back to any type of like story format, any type of like novel or anything. Irish folklore, just pop me in one of those puppies, and
That sounds terrifying.
that's what I like. That's what I like.
Anyway, when novelist Owen Bauman, Adam Scott, retreats to a remote inn to scatter his parents' ashes, he's consumed by tales of a witch haunting the honeymoon suite. Disturbing visions and a shocking disappearance forces him to confront dark corners of his past. That's a pretty good one.
That's pretty good.
That was good. Yeah.
Two
really like
sentences, but you always hit the major points of the solid.
Yeah, because he's cheating.
Yeah, because
Sammy
I'm obviously reading it and putting it through AI
That's what
immediately.
he's been reading on his
he's
phone
just writing,
over.
No, less obvious.
Less obvious.
I need to hack into the synopsis mainframe.
How do I put this into my own words? All right, AI, do your thing. Do your thing. So anyway, I did write something that is not a synopsis. It's sort of like a supplementary to my synopsis because after I did kind of follow up with caveat and oddity, I did kind of gloss over those two just to kind of prepare myself for
Like the plots.
the similarities.
I haven't seen Caveat, by the way, but we obviously all did Oddity together.
Oh right, yeah. So I just wanted to say
We also did the movie
you know,
together.
This guy definitely has like a style. Damian McCarthy.
Irish.
And I basically was like
Shades.
another murder mystery with rabbits, bells, bellboys, boys ringing bells,
Bellhops.
small openings, secret passageways, basements, heroin. Just kidding, there wasn't heroin. Women being injured or killed in basements, and wooden boxes and crosses, crossbows.
You know what's
I just feel like he has a style and he likes to like reuse a lot of elements.
You know what's wild though? I think that to me those are all so visual, concrete.
Oh yeah, visually.
Those are like so. I didn't realize how many there were. The rabbit was the big one. The shapes to me, the framing, but I forgot about the bellboy at the end of Oddity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about another woman. Like I forgot about the basement and Caveat.
Yeah.
To me, the one, and I honestly,
And in Oddity, I mean, she falls through the trapdoor into like this basement.
to me, the one thing that is consistent to the point where I hope you looked it up, Brendan. I don't know if you did.
What?
If not, somebody should. What it is with Damian McCarthy.
What it is, ho? What's up?
Can't say the next line. But he, like, the bad person in the movie is always
I wrote
like
that down, yeah.
a coward who doesn't feel guilt, and instead his reaction to doing something heinous is something more heinous.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And that it's almost like
We're really sliding into the spoilers quick here, but you're keeping it vague. I like that you're keeping it vague.
If you keep writing that into your movies, what are you like? Is this your catharsis for?
Well, you can make that argument about a lot of horror, like just horrific things. You're like, damn, bro, if that came out of your brain enough times, like, what's going on in there?
It's also like the supernatural elements in the movie are the things that are doling out the justice to these murderers.
Yes.
So they're very egalitarian in like their like.
That is very well.
I wrote down, it's that this had the classic trope of like, again, keeping vague for spoilers, but there is supernatural, and yet the scariest part is man. And it was very 28 days later of them.
I would say that to Brendan's point, it's even more. It takes that a step further in the sense that the paranormal or the whatever the monster is just the vessel by which they can carry along the main story, which is about like it's not necessarily that. I was listening to something about a lot of movies try to do that, and then what happens is the psychological and the supernatural end up like fighting one another. He always like admits it's there, and it's just a means to kind of carry something forward so that he's always going to be able to scare you, but the plot is kind of circling around it.
Yeah. So I didn't mean to say egalitarian. I meant to say like the principled in their violence. They seem to like target those that deserve it the most.
Yeah. They're not altruistic, but they're logically sound. They're not like they're not.
And that's why almost at points when you would see you would see certain things in the movie that were scary. Obviously, like the way the jump scares were done, that's scary in itself. But like the actual like presence of supernatural elements, I was like, oh, these things are good, and like they're actually I trust in their sense of justice. Kind of. Yeah. So it's like, because if you think about the other two real quick, caveat. You know, the Olga's mother is the one that kills the uncle. Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine. I'm not
going
to watch it unless you guys make me.
In Oddity, for those who haven't, listeners watched Oddity, but the
OGs though.
Yeah, like the bellboy, the supernatural bellboy kills the husband.
At the very end,
anyway,
right?
And Danny, the girl that was killed by the woman was killed by the husband. She comes back and shows kind of like who is responsible for her murder. But anyway,
speaking of scary,
well, I do think this was the most elaborate version, but of the like supernatural is good almost, and the people are bad.
Yeah.
Where the consistent theme is that it's like a cowardly, guilty man who wrongs somebody, right?
Yeah.
This is only we've done him. We've done the Talk to Me guys, and we've done the 28 Days Later franchise. Those are the 3 repeat directors, right?
Well, what about Eggman?
Oh, yeah.
But did we cover anything besides Nosferatu?
No, we didn't.
No, right?
We haven't.
Who's the other Eggman? Aren't there 2 Eggmen?
There's 2.
Isn't there another guy that...
Oh, Zach Cregers.
Oh, Craig.
We watched a couple of Cregers.
You're right.
But we didn't.
No, we didn't. We talked about Barbarian because I watched it, but we actually only covered.
Who directed the monkey? Real quick. Who?
We did that guy twice. Yeah. The guy whose dad was Norman Bates.
Yeah, he has glasses.
Yeah.
Osgood Perkins.
So I would say Boyles, in my opinion, that's the most similar comparison, where Damian McCarthy is clearly dealing with one very specific thing in his movies because of the consistency at like the high thematic level of like, it does feel like visual catharsis.
Yeah.
But, Danny Boyle's, his like filmography, it goes from Slumdog to... Well, this has been very consistently addressing like this one type of trauma or
style.
Yeah.
And also he likes heroines, like in his movie. He likes strong, like female characters that are like uncovering the mystery of the murders.
Also think this is interesting to say because he's young-ish, like early at least in his career, and I think this is going to be a big test because you guys seem to like Caveat. Oddity was really good, and this was a good movie. Wherever we find we land between good and great, like this wasn't a bad movie, but I do think. You get 3. If the 4th album, if the 4th album sounds exactly the same, like we're gonna be like, okay, bro, time to pick it up.
I do think this movie was different enough. I agree,
but I'm saying if he does another one that's in a room that has like he'll have homages to old stuff for sure and similar themes. But if it's like this much, the way you described it at the very beginning, like bam, 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 all the same. If he does that one more time, I think it's a little bit like, okay, bro.
I do think that. So I liked Oddity better than Caveat. I think you like Caveat more than Oddity.
I like them. Yeah,
but
it did different ways.
Oddity still was like limited release. It felt this is like his personal trilogy. Of
course, he got Adam freaking Scott.
Yeah. He got wide release. He got budget, and it's like it's the most ambitious. I don't think you can argue that. I don't know if people will agree if it's his best, but it's definitely the most ambitious and fully realized of the same kind of broad concept or vessel. But I agree. He literally has to do something different.
But I'm not complaining here. I think, like you said, this is his wide release. This is his big. A lot of bands will like make 3 albums, and then when the 3rd album's the big one, they delete the other 2, and everyone thinks that their debut album is actually like sort of, it's like their greatest hits of their first few, and like I love that. You're allowed to do that. That's fair because you're given one fresh thing, but you can't make another one that is just the same.
I'm sure a lot of people that went and got into this or saw this and thought it was good are like, oh, it's the guy who did Oddity, but don't even know about Caveat.
I mean, again,
probably.
But each idea, each movie, they stand alone. Like So like even if he made a movie with all the same calling cards and hallmarks of the last 3 movies, I would be okay with it because to me it didn't. There was really no like. like the plot was different enough where I didn't take issue with like the similarities.
Again, I'm not saying I took issue, but I'm saying I think if he did it again, I'd be like, hey, maybe this isn't bad because of that, but I'd be like, okay, but I want to see something.
Dude, I want a man hero, dude.
Darjeeling Limited,
Wes Anderson.
Yeah, he could, for fear of becoming the Wes Anderson of horror.
Well, that's the thing, and everyone gives Wes Anderson a lot of shit for that.
Yeah, that's what I don't like the fact that, he doesn't deviate from.
Yeah, and also now I'm contradicting myself because I'm classically the guy that's like
defending
Wes Anderson. So
well, there's if you watched anyone without knowing in a vacuum,
yes,
you would
like,
enjoy
holy
them.
Shit, this is awesome.
But artists,
how am I gonna watch a movie in a vacuum?
Oh, it'd be so loud, and it would suck.
Oh,
dude! It's funny that you say that too, because I wrote down that this movie had some Wes Anderson to it. There was a lot of funny, quick cuts.
It was funny.
It was funny.
Yeah, in a better way than The Monkey, in my opinion. Throwing shade at the movie
strays.
Always.
He made us watch The Monkey, by the way, to be clear.
Who did?
I think we all said we were going to see it after, because
I never heard of fucking The Monkey. You said we're watching. You'd say what movies we're watching.
Now let's do the transition Abby tried to initiate 5 minutes ago. So, on this show, we have a person that operates as a human barometer for the normal folk out there to figure out exactly how scary this movie is. That's why he's a titular baby.
I'm a person. I'm human. I'm titular. This is the kind of compliments I'm looking for.
These are the kind of descriptions that we like.
Yeah, get this guy an adjective writer. All right.
An adjective writer.
All right. Can we hear that theme song?
Absolutely.
Nobody puts baby in the corner, but we just put him in the corner. Nobody puts baby in the corner, but he's in that corner right now.
Okay, cool. So I'm your baby, goo goo gaga. I'm in the corner. I'm fucking scared. Yeah, spoiler alert. This movie's fucking scary. God damn it. I knew it was going to be because Oddity fucked me up and I watched it at home. This was in the theater. And yeah, it was. I thought Adam Scott might make it a little less scary.
You should shout out to Sam. Didn't he, warn you about this?
Oh, yeah. Sam, our editor, shout out Sam, was like, yeah, I'm excited to hear the baby in the corner segment because that was scary. And I was like, sick, thanks for telling me that. That's the same thing as when we were going to see fucking Undertone. And I was like, dude, I'm just scared. And you were supposed to comfort me. And you were like, no, I think it's going to be bad. And that fucked me up too. I think, first of all, I thought Adam Scott would be like a little bit, oh no, it'll be all right. And it was funny. It was legitimately funny. Still was scary as heck. It's one of the first movies that I can think of where when someone asks if it's scary, I can describe it as being like there were tons of jump scares, but that's not negative. A lot of times when you say a movie had a ton of jump scares, it's like that's a cop out. Like it was scary on the surface, but it wasn't really scary. This managed to be like, I do feel like it was counting. If we counted jump scares, this was up there with some of the most.
And he's very good at it.
Okay. I'm curious what you guys thought. Yes.
I still think since we started this show, the best jump scare that was from a movie I hadn't seen before was Oddity at the beginning with the camera in the tank.
Mm-hmm.
And he's had others in Caveat. He had one that I think that was unbelievable.
The mother's peeking up in the tunnel. Yeah,
I'm excited to hear your description of this because I appreciate jump scares, but to me that's a lot of people can do it the cheap way where you would admit you would fall for it every time.
Absolutely. I mean, you can, there's that Instagram video that, it's just like, give me a dark screen that's quiet and then give me a bright thing and a loud noise and throw in an old person. You got me.
What impressed me about this movie is because is the fact that I don't think it ever really established dread or discomfort the way that the movies that we all consider horrifying are like a crescendo of just you're more and more uncomfortable. Instead, it was what I thought was a good story, a genre mashup that was able to also have multiple self-contained 45, 90-second, or even multiple minute sequences that could build that tension in and of themselves, but never made you feel like, oh, I need this movie to end. I'm so scared.
Well,
dude,
speak for yourself on that. I definitely wanted that movie to end and check
so that's why I want to hear
I checked my watch like 3 times and I was like, this happens with all, like, again, it started with Talk to Me. This happened in Undertone where I checked my watch and I'm like, we gotta be almost there. And I'm like, we're 40 minutes in. Are you fucking kidding me? We're not even halfway done. This really did fill me with a lot of dread. I think that, we've always joked about this and we'll wait till we hit the big bucks. But if we had a heart rate monitor on me, I think this would be the highest my heart was at. There were a point when I was just like, I can't calm down. Like my body, my brain will not calm down. My goosebumps were the size of fucking skyscrapers. Like I was just in a bad place. I got a headache. And I've never had that happen. I straight up had a headache from just, I think, so many like tense, not tense, tense, not tense. Call me a fucking circus clown.
So I guess that's the point that I was trying to get to is that I agree. I've never seen you so scared so many times. Like there were incidents of, like I wasn't kidding. Abby was elbowing me, and I've never seen anything like this where it was like actually 4 or 5 visceral, physical reactions.
He just kept doing it
to scenes in the movie. But would you say it's the scariest movie?
No, it's not the scariest movie we did. Definitely not. And I think one of the interesting things was like because of what he did and the storytelling, and this goes to the merit of the movie. That's not a bad thing at all. But it's like ultimately the witch, and we'll get deeper into it in the spoiler room. But like the witch actually wasn't that scary to me, and that was on purpose because, like we said, the plot was sort of that like people are the scariest thing in a way, and so. It didn't stick with me the same way other things did. Like, I always think of Shining as the one with the least jump scares that, like, I never can sleep well for a week after The Shining. This didn't have that. I'm not that scared of any of it after it, but it just had a lot of jump scares, and it wasn't cheap with the jump scares. So it pulled off that. I gave it it was fucking scary, though. So I think I looked it up. I gave Oddity a 9.2. I gave Conjuring a 9.6666, which is the scariest one we've done.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give this a 9.35.
I think
because it just had more jumpies than
it's
Oddity.
So fascinating.
Yeah,
but Oddity stuck with me more.
There were scares in Oddity that were that personally I felt were a little more unsettling. Like
yes, no, it was more unsettling because Oddity straight up came home with me. This one didn't come home with me.
But this one didn't. Yeah,
I think it's the genre mashup where when you dedicate yourself to like a crescendo of your like. I don't know, the last act is supposed to be the most unsettling, and it actually is. I'm not saying it wasn't in this movie, but the contrast was big enough that, and it was it's how do you quantify it? It's so difficult.
I just did.
Because I think you're right. If we were to be able to measure your Binkymeter both,
right? No,
how does it make me feel?
It's a
versus,
twofold. Like if you want to get really fancy,
how many? Like what the total average heart rate for the duration per minute or whatever.
Yeah.
I do think you're right that physically this made you the most uncomfortable.
Yes, exactly. And it had no, the during experience was so intense because there was no reprieve in this. Like, there's Conjuring, I was talking about this. Conjuring would let you go outside in the daytime in between, which I think, again, that was the scariest movie I might have ever seen. But, there was some reprieve in there. For the nervous system, once he gets trapped up there, there's no reprieve. There's no light. There's no anything. There's the moments when he thinks he's gonna get saved, but it is just boom, 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 like my fucking goosebumps.
I felt it's weird. When he's up there, I felt that it was a little drawn out. A little.
No, maybe I'm not saying that it was perfect in terms of filmmaking.
But you were constantly
I was never calm.
I
was never calm up there.
Yeah, I forgot how long he was up there.
He was up there
because
for a
to me the scenes of where I forget the guy's name, the mushroom milk
Jerry.
Jerry. That whole side story of him being the potential savior, he was such a funny,
No, when we were literally experiencing him, I felt less scared, but it still wasn't this full reprieve because he was hurt. There was in danger. There was just a lot of danger. It was never calm. I never took a deep breath from 30 minutes into that movie until the end. I didn't take a nice clear breath, which says a lot about it. But again, didn't come home with me. Wasn't that deeply creepy. It was just scary. If we were, So okay, let's move on.
I want to just make sure that the movie's it's nice to be able to validate, to be like, dude, yeah, he really was fucking like physically shook. Where I'm thinking about all the movies I'm picturing you alone and with the blanket or blacking out, and it's like that is one of the cool.
He did gasp. Yeah, like I said,
sitting next to you.
He gasped a couple of times, and he was like literally like lurched back.
Well, it's interesting if we want to analyze my things, because you mentioned it's true. So this was me flying all over the place because of the jump scares. Undertone, where we all sat next to each other. Undertone was like me just going,
Yeah.
Because Undertone was understated.
Yeah, and there was a lot of blue ball.
Well, there was
horror,
I felt like this movie was understated. Also, I feel like the jump scares.
But it also had tons of actual jump scares.
They had jump scares.
Yeah.
I just feel like Damian McCarthy. He makes really kind of like sophisticated horror movies where the plots are extremely multifaceted, and the characters are extremely deep and fleshed out. And so, like, I feel like if you took out the jump scares of this movie, I feel like this movie could stand alone as like a murder mystery.
It's a really good point.
Totally different.
It's a really good point. This is one of the few movies with a lot of jump scares that you could take out the jump scares and it still has a lot of merit. Maybe some would argue more, but I'm not going to go that far. But that's a good point.
But the jump scares were really effective.
What was your final Binkymeter?
9.35.
All right, so that's a very solidly scary score.
The babies was out for this one. All my fellow babies. I mean, watch it so that there's more merit to this show, but like, don't watch it. It's fucking scary.
Well, what do we do now, boys? Except
we really got to come up with a sound effect.
You're the sound man.
It's hard to.
Also, didn't you write 2 songs for "Baby in the Corner"?
Yeah.
Or no.
There are two. There's 2 "Baby in the Corner" songs, but. For spoiler room,
baby, I'll get
zero.
You had something.
I meant many.
You were like, spoiler room. I can't even get there on my broom.
You did do for the Blair Witch.
That hurt my throat.
The Blair Witch. You did the trailer for the Boiler Room with and that had a cringy song over it.
Yeah, it took a lot of time for not that much payoff.
I mean, it was very funny. And then we forgot we had it. But yeah, now we're down in the dirty, dark,
we're down in the spoiler room, and guess what? We're
dungeon.
getting ready to spoil this fucking movie so much, you better plug your ears or get out of the room or tell your parents, Mom, shut this off because we're about to spoil it. Hit it up.
It's compost time. And if you haven't watched it yet, pause, go watch it. Oh, it's in theaters. Well, guess what? No one fucking sponsors the show, so we're going to tell you, be honest. Go to fmovies.llc. Go to watchfreemoviestream.org.biz.jizz.biz and just watch it. And now, thanks. Welcome back. And you just watched it, and now we're going to really talk about the spoils.
Listen, this guy, he's depressed. He's a writer. He stinks. His mom was shot in the face by him as a child. He feels bad.
That's revealed later.
Hold on.
Yeah. You find out later. When did you guys realize that it was he who had shot his mother?
I realized it when they showed me.
Yeah.
What? Really?
When they showed us. You realized it before then?
Yeah.
How?
When he hung himself, he's like a kid, too young to prosecute, got away.
And then
he should have hung.
Wait.
Almost done. He should have been hanged for what he did. And then the next scene is him hanging in his room.
Wait, he said should have been hanged?
Yeah, at the bar to Fiona.
I didn't hear that.
No, yeah, I mean, they hinted at it. Chronologically, though, what I loved about the beginning of the film is I thought we were about to see this, you know how a lot of horror movies have this cliche prologue? Even The Exorcist has that scene that takes place in, the Middle East to try to
I noticed the similarities.
Dead, and he flips it on its head, and it turns out it's actually an epilogue that has nothing to do with the movie you're about to watch, and it's what he's writing.
Something to do with it, but it's not taking place in this world. It's the book that he's writing.
Yeah,
it
seems
like they're setting up the lore for this story when it actually, So it's character development. The whole movie is about his character, but in my opinion, also just about, no, it's always about trauma, but guilt specifically in this film.
Guilt, grief.
So the main character, his name's Om, right? And to me, there are a lot of Buddhist themes in this movie. Themes about self-realization, forgiveness, the dissolution of one's ego. all jokes aside, they do kind of talk about. There's a scene where Jerry, like this vagabond, he's talking about how the goats are responsible for causing damage to the cars because they get into the mushrooms. They start to trip, and they want to look at the reflection because that's what
was a great line.
That's what makes the reflection. The reflection makes the trip stronger. And he as he's describing this, he's looking into the glass bottle of this like milk shroom potion he's drinking, and so I do think like this movie is about like kind of overcoming guilt and self-hatred through self-reflection and like breaking the cycle of like.
Absolutely.
Self-loathing and self-hatred by forgiving oneself and dissolving one's ego.
And to get right into that for a second, so the reflection, I like that word because you're right. Yeah. It's very like play on the figurative and literal of that. Yeah. So there is the aspect of the twist at the end. One of the many is that the bellhop admits that he spiked Ohm's whiskey the night of the hanging with mushrooms. And Jerry had said that you could only see these ghosts and ghouls and,
so
and
there,
have your eyes open to it because of the mushrooms. So I want to talk about the literal of what that means, but in a figurative sense, I also thought it was cool that goats are imagery that we've, as I'm new to the horror genre really in this more dense way, like goats is a common thing, but goats are often evil, which, they're signs for the devil. This was a cool example of like, I thought they might be. Right. There was a lot of goat imagery, but no, that wasn't the point at all. It was about men being bad, and goats are just imagery.
The thing about guilt also is his character has the most like realized arc of the processing of guilt. But there's also an arc for Jerry and guilt, and an arc for what's his name, Mal.
Yeah, Mal the bad guy.
Guilt.
Yeah.
And the various these are like the three different outcomes that should, in quotes, happen to the people that process evil doing in the right or wrong way, in my opinion. Because Mal felt no guilt for what he did. He suffered the consequences.
Yeah.
Jerry attacked it head on, and, he admitted it.
But what was his guilt?
Killing his wife.
He actually did something.
He knew that he did it for the right reasons. So I don't know if that was guilt.
Well, he was guilty in the sense that
I think he was just a character that from the get-go got it from the beginning because he had already confronted it from the get-go.
I agree with Dubs, though, because like the way he explains it away so like as if it, like, yes, he probably was in the right and he did have a conversation with his wife, but to the average person, like to kill your wife and just say, and I would do it again type of attitude is like this, the way that it's probably refreshing to Adam Scott's character, who is, his life has been utterly destroyed by the death of his mother and his responsibility of killing his mother, that hearing a character like Jerry kind of say that death, look at it in this other light, like you got to stop blaming. You said beating yourself up about it. You were a kid. It was an accident.
Yeah. I understand.
Like, guilt is the wrong word. I think it's more, guilt is what, like, Adam Scott had.
Right, it's plaguing.
It's more about what is your reaction. So
no, exactly. I would actually agree in a slightly different way in that I think Jerry is exactly the representation of dealing with things head on,
like dealing with trauma,
and therefore he is the savior. He is the reason that our main protagonist has his come to moment. He's the only reason that Adam Scott has an arc and doesn't just end.
True.
Adam Scott is self-punitive his entire life, tearing himself apart,
and thus tearing everyone else down. Because when you hate yourself, you're a horrible fucking dick.
He earns his relief after years of being a terrible person. The very polar opposite is Mal, who did something truly on purpose and bad, and
denies it, or
all he cared about was the next solution. Right. So he was punished, and then you have this middle ground of, mercy. But he was totally at peace with it.
Yeah, and
he didn't need to be absolved. You're
right.
Yeah,
and to your point of what we got at before, and just to now get it fully laid out there in the spoiler room, is like that is why the witch in this is just dealing out justice. It's not a bad thing. Like the witch just gives Adam Scott the understanding to grow, gives Mal the death that he deserves for not confronting it, and Jerry just gets fucking hit by Mal, and that's
well, the witch does kill Fiona. I mean, Fiona dies?
No,
right?
He kills. Mal locked her in the thing.
No,
he
puts her down the dumbwaiter,
and
then
she couldn't get back up because she didn't have the fucking
right.
thing that he built.
So what kills her?
Just starvation.
Time. Yeah, because she didn't.
But she's bloody.
No, she wasn't. No. She was just like I think that was just
decrepit.
Like that she was decrepit. Like
she was starved.
Oh, she died. Okay, that's
she
good.
was haunted.
That's good. That's good.
No,
but we know that.
I can confirm that. I can confirm.
Okay, good.
So there were a
that's
couple
better.
of
okay,
open-ended
I prefer
things.
That's why I didn't like.
Yeah,
I was very happy I could. Well, I thought that's what he thought he was doing, was leaving her to
That's
the
what
witch.
he wanted to
right.
do. That's
and
what he wanted
she,
to do.
in her tape, said there's something down here.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But she just dies because she could not escape.
it is a little weird that she died in the dumbwaiter, though. To be fair, I was confused why she wasn't free in the basement.
It's the furthest away from the witch.
Oh,
and also,
I just got scared.
And also, like, think about, we do see what happens if the witch gets you. Right?
Yeah,
now,
she drags you to the underworld.
And at the very beginning, that lore, the only lore that they built around the witch is that, like, it takes the, travelers, that it doesn't, like,
sometimes
the underworld,
it pulls a bit out of it.
Yeah,
is
it
what
pulls
they say.
them down or whatever. So there's you started talking about this, Abby. There's a few, like, things that were open-ended, and I can't believe how many people are getting this wrong on the internet. The first is the mushrooms, right? So totally confirmed he was given the mushrooms the night before he hanged himself.
The night that he hanged himself.
Yeah. Or sorry.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
We don't know if it was the morning.
Yeah.
Meaning, and I can't believe how many, because I went through.
Oh, this is gonna be funny. Let's see if we disagree.
How many
here,
analyses were like, yeah, and the entire time he spent in the honeymoon suite, we now know he was on mushrooms.
Right, yeah.
He was not.
He was not. Although there is a theory that maybe mushrooms open your eyes to the supernatural permanently. They open the door. But you're right. It's definitely not some undertone theory that we talked about. It's not something where he just imagined all of it because of mushrooms, because that's not how mushrooms work. Like
the screenplay established the timeline. He was spiked, and what happens is he remembers, that the guy says, you can only see it. It will open, like you just said. But then he checks his wrists, and he does see that this actually happened to him. A lot of people saw that as him seeing, oh, that didn't really happen. But
why would they show a mark on his body? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So,
but what was interesting about that is, like, when he comes back to the hotel after being in the hospital, he no longer has the mark on his neck.
I pointed that out too.
Yeah,
I thought that was weird.
Yeah.
So it was weird. It's weeks later that they show him in the hospital.
Right, because I guess you recover
Yeah.
your skin probably recovers faster than your body.
He was fully healed.
I'm not sure about the medical research on that.
So the way that I've read and understand it is the mushrooms allowed him. It kind of moved his character arc forward towards the first step of absolving himself from guilt, which is just the moment he realizes the supernatural is real up in the honeymoon suite. When he uses the chalk himself, he wouldn't have used that if he didn't realize all of a sudden.
No, he had made a comment
is he
about
drinking the whiskey in the honeymoon suite?
No,
he is drinking the whiskey. Yes, he is, because he runs out of the whiskey.
He's drinking in the suite.
You're fucking right.
Yeah,
he drinks the whiskey
he's
all the way
sitting
until
on the
he's
table.
in the basement.
Yeah.
He's in the basement when he
he's
runs out of the
drinking it constantly
whiskey.
in the honeymoon
it's a
suite.
different.
I assumed he had refilled it, though. He's an alcoholic. He's not drinking the same flask from
it's literally weeks later.
earlier.
The season ended.
Yeah.
I
But
just
that
think
is
that's like
interesting.
where are we getting that jump though?
Yeah,
what's the point of even having it?
There's a time.
he's an
honeymoon suite?
alcoholic.
Why would? Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like he's like
No,
I
that
drank.
is an interesting point.
He's
He
like
is
I drank
definitely-
all the whiskey. It wasn't even his whiskey. So where would he
yeah,
refill
that
it from?
night.
It was full
He
by
said
someone
I
else.
Where
gave
would
it-
he refill when he's
It's
an
like it was
alcoholic?
filled-
He's drinking at the bar. He's drinking all the
Right,
time.
but it was filled by someone else. I mean, I feel like if it
Why
would just
set the
hold- wait,
timeline?
let me just say this one thing. I feel like it would be a bizarre choice if you're gonna have a character poison a specific container of whiskey, right? It would be like kind of confusing, right, to then have him drink from that same container
Right, but it's no longer
as
spiked.
opposed to just drinking from a different container of whiskey.
Well, he drinks from a flask because he's an alcoholic. But no, to your point, probably the answer is what we talk about a lot. This is probably good filmmaking where you leave it vague enough.
But that would be like a big.
So I don't think you can say whether it's. I don't think you can say whether or not it's. Well, obviously Mal knows there's a paranormal shit in the basement, right? He wouldn't have put her down there, or he puts her down there because he just wants to abandon her.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. I got it. Okay. So okay.
Oh, he knew about the thing.
So he knew about it, but that doesn't mean that he.
So he doesn't.
He hasn't seen it.
So, but he doesn't actually believe in that a witch has cursed the honeymoon suite.
He might believe it.
No, he does. I think.
Okay.
That was how
it just depends on how much they believe the old guy. The old guy's obviously obsessed with it, and we're not made clear what the internal understanding of everyone is.
So I like the idea that it's vague. I prefer the idea that it's vague, and that's why they have him drink the whiskey.
To the point,
in the room.
To your point, I think that's the shine. I think maybe he's saying, yeah, it could have been hallucinations throughout. He might have been drinking mushroom whiskey even in the honeymoon suite. However, when he looks down, now soberly, now after all this shit went down, and he sees the things on his wrist, you're totally right, Will. That is a clear sign. That is what I was complaining about that Undertone did not have. That was a clear sign that McCarthy is saying it happened.
McCarthy and Scott had an interview.
Right.
This 100% happened. The witch is real. The lore is real. It drags people to hell. He was chained up.
Ooh, that kind of ruins it for me a little bit.
Oh, the only thing that people on the internet were disagreeing about was what he experienced or didn't experience. The way I thought I had figured this out was that it allowed him to acknowledge the supernatural earlier than he would have, which then opens up his ability to be absolved of his guilt through this vision of his mother, which, by the way, started at the very first scene of the movie in a way that is ambiguous.
Yeah.
So we're like, what is he imagining?
And that's a strong, important point. Absolutely no question that when he sees his mom, or his mom is being haunting him at his home in the United States in the first scene, or the second scene after the desert, obviously he hasn't taken mushrooms then. So that sort of proves that.
Yeah, and the mushrooms were pointless.
Yeah,
in the movie.
Well, again,
I'm joking. Yeah. Well, in like when he's watching that creepy children's show on the television in the honey, like that's obviously not a show that's like taking place in real life.
And then his mom's like creeping around behind him in the honeymoon suite. That's obviously like that's clearly not the witch. Is that's in his head, or is that the witch creates? Is the supernatural just bring out what you're scared of?
I just think like literally every horror movie ever made is like, is he actually seeing it? Is it like that's what ghosts are? I mean, like,
well, that's the fun of it.
Yeah, right. But like, I think like even like, I don't know, trying to decide whether or not they're actually there, not actually there. It to me is not like the point of it. I guess. Okay. Because, I mean, like, you're never going to... Whatever.
All right, wait. I got a fun theory slightly related to this. I was reading up on theories. I'm getting into theories. Did Cobb, as he said, he trapped the witch, right? In the honeymoon suite. That's the whole lore. Cobb, the guy that owns the hotel, Mal's father-in-law. He locked
it could never get past.
Right, he locked the witch. Or did the witch control him? Does the witch control the whole hotel, and she's exactly where she wants to be? You know what I mean? That's an interesting theory I saw.
I would imagine, because we don't know enough about Cobb,
which was interesting. It felt like they were going to bring him back, and they didn't.
Yeah,
that was sort of a twist.
Yeah, to me, it makes sense that they locked her in, because the farthest she could get, even if she crawls up the dumbwaiter thing, is to the door, which never opens.
But maybe she doesn't. But maybe that's like exactly how this is playing.
But why would she doesn't get to suck anybody's soul down into the underrealms anymore like she used to? I would think that she
loves that.
Yeah,
loves that. You're right. I know one thing about that lady.
The other thing that I saw people were confused about. So he uses the chalk very successfly. The first time when the witch does come up through the dumbwaiter.
Yeah, they should call this movie Chalk to Me.
But a lot of people, when they're down there and Mal is down there with him at the very end, the climax, and Jerry's dead, he starts and doesn't finish. And
that was a good scene.
That was the
biggest
best
jump scare
that was on the... I liked the one at the very beginning, and I liked that one.
And the jump scare there, you didn't know if he got captured or not. You just knew it was right there. And then later, when they show him sitting in the circle that just didn't finish the circle, that was such good storytelling, like visually.
So there are people who interpreted that as Mal got because there was no circle for Mal, and he drew enough.
Oh, no
he
way.
never finished it. And to Brendan's very early, very like on the nose,
Sexy?
nailed it point. It's just she takes the souls of the people who deserve.
Well, that's what I was wondering. He finds the razor, Hokum's razor.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? He finds Hokum's razor and he saves himself. Is that, I mean, now you're getting deep. What is fate? Is that fate? But like, if he didn't find that, is he getting sucked into hell too, or is he gonna be free because, like you said, he's actually come to terms with his wrongs and there's no malice. Like it's an interesting.
How does it get in his pocket?
So there was he finds it in his pocket. First, he finds the thing dangling.
Oh, it's the thing that Olivia cut him down.
Yeah.
Fiona. But how does it end up in his pocket?
That's a great
It's after
question.
a vision so there's the jump scare, I believe, that turns into a vision of his mother.
Yeah.
Saying, "I forgive you."
And then he finds the thing.
Yeah, so it
So
was supernaturally bestowed upon him.
Yes.
Oh, that's so sweet.
So it is good. So it is good.
But I also
is good.
So it actually is good. Actually,
I wonder
sorry, Damian,
if
it's
he
good.
had closed the circle, would his mother been able to visit him?
I mean, it doesn't matter. I think if he closes the circle, he's okay too.
I'll ask these questions literally every single day. If he goes to circle,
now
would his
what's
mom come
bothering
back?
me is how did his mother visit him in the honeymoon suite if he wasn't on
Yo.
mushrooms? But we established his mom.
He's on mushrooms the whole time.
No, but
Brendan's right.
I disagree.
No, he's right.
This movie is a pro shrooms movie. It's about the effects of mushrooms. It should be shown in every dare class across the
Except
country.
that he hangs himself after mushrooms, which that's not what mushrooms do. Mushrooms will make you not hang yourself.
I think
Well, I've been on mushrooms.
was
and
it's
made me
to me it felt like a red herring, and also Abby, you just acknowledged the fact that he was being haunted before mushrooms were ever even introduced in the film. But what's bringing me back to your guys' side
Bring her
is
back.
McCarthy actually talked about when they designed The Witch, he had two inspirations. One was just traditional, like, what do you think of when you think of a witch?
Salem, baby, we
You know,
went.
like a creepy old lady
Hocus
that's
pocus, hokum pokum.
arched over and in the dark. But the other was we have a theme in this film about mushrooms.
Yeah.
So there are things in the makeup that are used to resemble literal mushrooms.
Yeah.
Like a very on the nose.
It'd
And
be
why,
cool if he
why
was,
add
like,
that
up in
to
the-
the witch if there was supposed to be absolutely no implication that you
talk
could
about mushrooms
hallucinate?
a lot, obviously. It's
Sure.
there,
It would
it's
be
fun.
sick, like if he's up in the honeymoon suite and he's sipping on that shroom tea whiskey, and he just starts like writing a song, and like the plot, people are just like, you have to do this in the plot. He's like, fuck this plot, baby.
Dude,
I'm
I
writing
also
the
love that,
thing.
like, David McCarthy, like, a lot of filmmakers, like, makes this cool ass story. He's probably like a nerd, and he's just like, he probably did like a shroom trip with like, dude, like, just like, I wonder what the shroom trip that inspired this was. Because he had one.
I still can't get over
What
this.
did they
So-
listen to? What do you think they listened to on their shroom trip?
Um,
Some P. Floyd, or you think they went like,
Sonic Garfunkel. No, I don't know, but Fleetwood Mac or something.
yeah, I
I
would.
still can't get 4 weeks later, the flask is supposed to still have.
Yeah, no, I think that's a fair point. He comes back.
I think like anytime someone's drinking in a movie, it's so like unrealistic. I don't know. It's just like a flask. If you're an alcoholic, you're going through a flask in 20
He was
minutes.
hospitalized. He got his belongings.
Yeah.
He checked. He went on an investigation. He made
No, but he might have found
And
that
then he
flask again later that night, like back at the
like
hotel.
when he collected
Yeah,
his
no, I think
belongings.
it's good. But
his.
also,
That's what
there's-
was in the.
There's
room.
one we forgot about
Whoa.
this in Baby in the
Hold on,
Corner.
that is.
This is
He
related.
does grab it off the desk, doesn't he?
Yeah. Maybe
He grabs it off the nightstand and then he goes up.
Yo, somebody tell us. 'cause
He's on
just-
shrooms, dude.
I need to
Tell
actually
us it's
know.
live. Call
Go
it.
site
I brought some
real.
with me.
It's
I
only
also-
shrooms.
I'm gonna take some and meet my witch that can exonerate me from.
I also forgot to mention, like in Baby in the Corner, that especially related to what we're talking about. Like, I got scared a lot. There was one part that Will got so scared, and that was actually when he ran out of booze. And Will was like,
He was shaking, but not because of the fear.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even
was
bring it.
shaking.
We had one at Applebee's, and it was great.
Just to talk about
Oh, well,
But it really comes back to what Jerry said. It's like these things are all around us all the time. It's just that the shrooms are the key to opening the portal.
Jerry was a
for
race
us
car
to experience
driver.
them. But anyway, let's talk about that
Okay.
last scene.
Wait.
Because
So,
Daddy got some real big thoughts.
okay,
about
let's
it.
talk about Real Big Fish. What's the last scene?
The last scene is the rewriting of the final chapter of his book.
Oh, yes. Okay. Wait, and also, this is general. I want to talk about this, too, is like, one of the plays on this, as Will introed with, the movie's called Hokum. Hokum means like for
bullshit,
hocus
pocus.
and sort of for the sake of seeming like it's not bullshit, like it has an implication. It's not
Showmanly.
just exactly. It's not just a synonym for bullshit. It's
smoke and mirrors.
So it's smoke and mirrors. So I think the loop of the movie is at first you're like, oh, that means like maybe this whole movie doesn't mean anything, and the joke is internal, and then you're like, no, the point is that he doesn't believe it within it, and then you sort of end like a lot of this stuff ambiguous. You're like, is the point that nothing matters, or probably more likely,
I think it's a lot more literal than because Damian. I think
I like to me that like
it's a murder mystery that happens to acknowledge a supernatural entity with a very limited lore that always exists. They acknowledge it exists.
The mystery part was cool too, because how many movies have we done that were legit mysteries too? I thought like there was a weird. I think I wrote down like this movie was like it was like Grand Budapest Hotel meets Knives Out meets The Conjuring. Like that's how I felt. That was sort of my gauge of this, and I was like, that's a wild 3 movies to mix, and he did a pretty good job.
That's why I wouldn't consider it scary, despite it having so many genuinely scary moments. Or not. I'm not saying it's not scary.
It's not like the true.
But that's why I really appreciate it, and I do think that I love that it doesn't have the undertone problem where the third act
of
doesn't.
Sucking?
Well, you asked about the ending. I think it's pretty fucking clear cut. Like we've seen this very sophisticated character arc develop about carrying the weight of doing something horrible by accident, being punished in every way in your life to the point where you're trained that you need to punish yourself and everybody else around you.
No, it's
that every message
hurt people, dude.
Ever convey has to be that of bleakness, no hope, right? So he hates himself and he hates everybody else to the point where he's made, like entitlement a character trait, right?
Yeah.
But you also...
Definitely.
The movie doesn't really start, his arc doesn't really start until after he survives his own suicide.
Right. Well, no, he doesn't just survive it. She saves him.
Yeah.
And like that's, again,
But he's still a shithead after that. He's still an asshole.
Yeah.
And he continues to be
You know what
an
he
asshole.
is? He's a bad hang.
He's a nuisance.
Wow.
I've hanged out with him before. Past tense.
That's a grammar joke.
But
Glad you stuck your neck out for that one.
So yeah, I mean,
I'm gonna hang
the scene with what's her face about like it's too bleak an ending,
and so the ending of his book isn't as bleak because it represents the ending of his reality.
Yeah.
That based on her and in honor of her who dies. Now, this is a funny one.
But real quick, I just gotta say one thing about the ending. What did you guys think about the goat skull? In the ending.
Oh, they cut to it in the. I mean, they
he throws the
over.
bottle, and then it's a goat skull looking into the reflective surface of the bottle.
Right.
Oh, I thought it was
that was
also
cool
the fact that.
What did you guys think of it? I thought it was
cherry
cool.
Well, how do you interpret that?
Well, that there's another hard surface that they could
break the.
And
that's one layer.
Yeah.
But
the second is the goat looking at itself. It's a memory of Jerry and reflection and mushrooms.
To me, it's just like tied together this idea of like looking within and distract that.
But I also think
and the Om thing. This is Buddhism, baby. This is a Buddhist movie.
To me,
I flunked a Buddhist class at Boston University. So
to me, the ending, the flip flop was so. I mean, the beginning, the conquistador, literally somebody who was just doling out shit all the time. His father punished him for his mistake his whole life.
Right, yeah.
And he writes
it's him.
Catharsis.
It's him, the older version of himself and the younger version of himself.
Please, well, I think it's more like, Daddy, kill me for something that's not my fault.
Yeah, but then daddy turns around here, so that's him. It's
the internal warring conflict within him, the child who
it's called Partsworth, internal family.
Exactly.
But
it's a manifestation of the duality of his child self and his adult self. They're conflicting, they're warring at each other, and they both embrace at the end, showing the unity within himself, the self-actualization, self-realization, the harmony that's been achieved at the end, the bottle, what's within the bottle is him hyper-focusing on the pain, the self-hatred, this chip on his shoulder, trying to achieve something, not knowing the way to achieve it. And he realized the only way to achieve it is self-love, baby.
It was like an Eminem freestyle.
No, that was a Sting. So here's a really deep one, and I think this is cool. McCarthy went around telling people during the interview process that about this movie that the original ending was that here's a Abby anecdote. Bam, 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 bam. Fletch is fired. McCarthy told that the original ending was that Adam Scott doesn't make it out of the basement. And in fact, he's found in the dumbwaiter, mirroring how, what was her name? Fiona died. And then everyone's like, oh, that's crazy. And then in the interview, he said, but I thought that was too bleak. I think that was never actually the real ending. I think he's going super meta, and he's being Adam Scott. He's the writer, and he's telling this story that mirrors the movie that...
Is that genuinely a theory?
Yeah. No, that's my theory.
So he went through a rewrite, and
I think he's lying about the rewrite to add to the lore.
Oh, you're saying he always had the happier ending?
I think so, but he's pretending that he did.
This is like layers, because I also think the skull is not only did he write the symbolic absolution of himself, but there's an even happier ending in that the bottle's right there too, so they're gonna get
the goat.
He didn't just not kill the kid.
The goat. They're great of all time.
He didn't just sacrifice himself, but they're also gonna get what they can.
This movie really makes you go down the rabbit hole.
Oh, but Donnie Darko ref.
Well, I do know that the script went through rewrites. I watched this interview with McCarthy and Scott where they asked about the rewrite process, but he didn't mention the alternate ending so much as like what things need. Jerry was a big part of the rewrite that he needed. The one crux of the movie is that he wanted to challenge himself by writing like a really dislikable character in a horror movie where the one thing you need is to want a person to survive, which is a very cool...
I mean, I thought that was interesting because I think I saw some reviews, and we'll get to them pretty shortly because let's get the hell out of here. In the spoiler room, I'm getting scared. The witch is coming.
He was very dislikable.
When Adam Scott starts and he's so fucking dislikable, I go, oh, actually, I'll be okay in this movie because I don't need to root for him. I'm okay with him dying. And pretty quickly, you're like, fuck, no, I'm back to liking him. Not just because you see his guilt, but just because you're like scared. You're like,
I think they did a good job also of holding out on his shittiness. Like committing to it.
Okay, one last theory I just want to throw out there. And I don't think it's true. I think we got into the real shit. But it's just fun to play it. There's obviously the theory that he died with the hanging. And then the rest is the hotel is purgatory. And he's playing in it. And he eventually does the right thing, comes to terms with his guilt, and goes to heaven instead of being dragged into hell, which was the alternative.
That's what I thought when he came back to the hotel and didn't have any mark on his neck.
Yes, I'm like, right.
That's what I was like. Okay, now I have to pay attention to this movie in a completely different light.
Now I got to pay attention to this
movie. In a different light because I don't know if everyone is supposed to catch that or not. So now I have to like play two scenarios out in my head at once and like see and try to like pick up on the significance of shit.
I feel like you called out his consistency at the beginning the most. I feel like he has always been like here are these kind of simple rules that I'm setting up, but the movie is this.
No,
mystery
but it's fair to say that the guy that gets cut down from being hung might have never survived, and
but you
nothing
don't
really
think that at the end, right?
I don't know, but that's the thing. Have you seen like Caveat? Have you seen like these movies? Like Damian McCarthy also has a way of ending films in ways that leave a lot of open questions, and I prefer that. I prefer movies like novels or like poems to be open to many different interpretations, and I think that's a positive, not a negative.
I like and straightforward.
Said it was a negative.
The mouse went up the clock.
The confusions that we have are good and should be embraced.
But
and that's
he can
what
still tell a complete story, which like Undertone frustrated us because it didn't. I do think that there are certain things.
It is a complete story. It's a completely perfect story.
What is open ended? Like,
There's
what
a
do you
theory
want
that he
to be-
died at the hanging and that the hotel was
but
purgatory.
McCarthy is like, that's not.
McCarthy, dude.
McCarthy has talked about the movie.
McCarthy wouldn't do that.
Well, I mean,
Let's get to the
listen,
next
I
seggy,
know,
dude.
I know McCarthy,
I know McCarthy.
and he wouldn't do that shit.
all right. Well,
Coach
now
McCarthy.
we're going to get where we should have been 15 minutes ago, which is our review stage where we are going to, before Rotten Estimator, where we guess the critics, the audience, we'll kick it off with Abby's absolute favorite segment, Medicare at Best, named after our favorite terrible review submitted by audience. Abby's got a couple to share. I got a couple.
Do you have the original picture of that? Are we going to be able to find it? Because I need to know who wrote Medicare at Best. I need to find them.
And find every other review. We should have to watch the first 5 movies.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Ab.
Okay, well, yeah. So I found a couple. Dubs found a couple. I mean, I think we probably both found this one. But this review is by Will B. William Benjamin Dubs, actually.
names.
Will wrote it.
This will be
This
good.
is by Will B. Hokum was a bunch of schmokum, blokum, dokum nonsense. They had many great elements, and they failed to capitalize. 1 star. Just love a hokum, bokum, smokum, dokum, and locum. Okay, the other one I got is Don. Don left this review, and this is half a star, and he said, all the way to Ireland just for a plot point that otherwise could have played out anywhere else. Okay, but why are you mad that it's an Irish director? But this was really the reason. The lead played such a crispy turd.
Wait, that's a positive. I feel like.
He's a crispy turd.
Half a star. Movie is terrible. No other words. Go see Obsession instead. That is a great movie. Ironic because that wasn't even an option when everybody reviewed it and when we saw it.
Also, yeah, just what a weird way to view movies. You're like, actually, that movie was not that good. Go see The Godfather. Like, okay.
Another half-star review. We walked out after 15 minutes. It was so boring. I just couldn't get into it. Now, that's not funny in its writing, but
That is.
circumstantially, I don't think I can think of a horror movie that so immediately had such a wildly well-executed jump scare. Usually you have to get into the movie. There's a story that
Literally,
builds
it's
up.
called the page.
There was a couple spots that I felt like were a little slow.
Definitely.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
but it, now
yeah,
the
to
first-
your point, it
Yeah,
goes
yeah.
it
fast.
didn't start slow.
The famous
No,
term.
no, it didn't start slow,
The
but-
famous term for movies is the page 17 moment.
Yeah.
17 minutes in is when something happens. To walk out at 15 minutes, these people must have watched one movie.
Oh, they just
ever.
said it was
Like,
boring in the
But
beginning.
this,
Yeah, they
this
left at 15
movie
minutes.
especially
Well, Brendan stopped
was like,
listening at 15
it
seconds.
had a
because someone's
17
writing
sec-
really loud.
That was a joke. I was trying to get to you, beat me. It had a 17-second jump scare, which you just don't see. The
Yeah.
Ring is the only one that I can think of.
No, we never seen The Ring over here.
I love
Daddy.
The Ring.
Yeah,
Ooh, yeah.
we're gonna see that. We're gonna.
All right,
some
now
nuance.
this is long, but
That's not.
I'm gonna read it the way it's written. I'm watching because Moist Critical hyped it up, and I know he's rumored to be hard to impress. He said this was a good movie that had tastefully jump scares. Going in blind! Exclamation. After, wow, that was bad. Every jump scare relied heavily on loud music, and the storyline was very sloppy. The characters just barely had interesting storylines that are not explored. Spoilers ahead. Caps. The story the main protagonist is writing is pretty corny and not very logical, but the main character is supposed to be a world-renowned great writer. This is crazy. Also, there is a little murder mystery. They tell you what happened as soon as body is found. The random cringe rabbit monster is extremely loosely tied to the story, very much forced for marketing. Also, main character obsess over childhood trauma, which gets solved in 2 secs at the end. Also, a waitress is compared to the main character's mom, and then nothing is really done with that, aside from her also being died. Overall, okay, kind of wish I stayed home.
That wasn't that bad.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad. They just
Oh,
language
no, hold on.
wasn't
They
good.
they
It was
missed every
grammatically
point in every. First of all,
All right. Look.
okay. He's a world-renowned
Get
writer.
this guy on the pod, dude.
And
What's
he-
his name? Get
he
him on the
can't-
pod.
This is his writing. The whole point is the
I mean, it is
one
we don't
detail.
learn enough about the book. I didn't think
Well,
it seemed good, but they didn't tell us
So
anything.
this
about
person thinks they can't spell anything right. Is outsmarting the script writer that wrote the author's detailed change through his.
it. Yeah.
That's wrong. Also, the random cringe rabbit monster is extremely loose. Like forced marketing. nobody has even seen Caveat. There's nobody.
Well, Oddity is the rabbits in that as well.
Yeah, as another like homage to himself, but it's the
Well, I'm
trailer
assuming
isn't
that
getting
there's a
people.
rabbit in the trailer that scares people, and then they go.
Well,
see
the only
movie.
rabbit is
her.
Fiona.
Yeah. So again, nobody is going off the street to watch this movie.
That's a rabid fan. That's what that is.
Did they leave their phone number so you can call them and tell them this after this?
Did they leave a stopwatch so we can move on?
All right, let's move on.
All right,
let's move on.
fine.
You are about to find out if we really know what we're talking about. Are we frauds or are we connoisseurs? Here come our rotten estimato scores.
All right, this is Rotten Estimators, where we estimate the score of the critics and the audience.
All right.
What do you guys think?
Critics. Start with critics. Brendan, you go first.
All right, I'll estimate.
Just do critic, audience.
Critics, I don't know. I don't know.
He knows
I'm bad
exactly
at these.
what it
I'm
is.
bad at these.
He
I swear to God, I
fucking
don't.
Stole their synopsis.
Swear to God. I'll say critic score 92.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm very curious. I want to know what Oddity is too. So can you pull that up as well, Dubs? I'm gonna say critics. I'd say they liked it. I'll just say 89, a little less.
Do we reveal now or do
Yeah,
we?
Abby nailed it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I should have.
What's Oddity? Can you look it up?
So
because I would think
89
Oddity
on
was
the nose,
better.
I don't think anybody's gotten.
I get it on the nose all the time. Don't say that.
I actually think this is a better movie, but I liked Oddity more.
What's
I like
I
Oddity
want to
more.
know what
If
the
that
critics
makes sense.
say.
Yeah, Oddity was 96.
Yeah. I agree. I think they're right. All right.
But it was more out of left field. I feel like
Yes.
it's diluted by expectation. You know what I mean? Its quality is like it's Damian McCarthy making a more ambitious Damian McCarthy movie.
Yeah, but Oddity was more interesting, I think. This was a little
I
more
think
Oddity
straightforward.
was simple.
I think
It was
it-
simpler, and I felt like this just had like.
No,
it
but
was
Oddity
great.
had like a weird wood guy. Like that was really unique. Like this was cool,
Yeah.
but this was like, okay,
I think-
he's locked in a thing. There's a witch.
I think Oddity was actually even more linear, but just more well built. It was even simpler.
Right.
This was like too ambitious, too many different.
I love now we're like
threads.
this movie sucks.
Just
As we
compared
realize
to the other
score.
very good movie. All right,
I still like this movie. Yeah.
Audience. I'm gonna go. Oh fuck! I have no clue. I really have no clue. I have no clue.
Do I go first?
Do you want to go first?
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah. You went
79. No,
Okay.
no. I'm gonna go 81.
What makes you say it so much lower? I'm just curious.
I just feel like some people. I feel like sometimes movies that are hyped up so much that people are just automatically like a movie can never live up to some of these marketing campaigns. So I think they go in expecting way too much and they're let down.
I think that's fair. And we got Big Boy Scotty in this, and like that. Anytime you bring a big name, a mainstream
so
Severance
hyped up?
boy,
I couldn't go I couldn't watch anything on
That's your
YouTube
outlet.
That's
or
us.
Netflix. Yeah.
You know, like
No,
a
but
lot of people don't even. I told my mom. I told like an.
Okay, you're right. I didn't see it everywhere.
No, but I'm saying other people that aren't in this. They didn't even know this movie.
it's by far,
existed.
as you pointed out, the most hyped up David McCarthy thing
For
ever.
sure.
It has Adam Scott in it. It's a very big mainstream name. So to the point,
And then
that,
it made $16 million or whatever.
right,
I mean,
but it
I
couldn't
don't.
have cost that much to make.
No, it was,
But
it was-
82's low. 82's low.
No,
I just
stick
think
with
it's
it.
at that
low.
number.
It's too
but
low.
with
the
it.
point
No.
is-
82's low. I'm gonna say 85.
All right, ready? Twist. I'm gonna say 82. I'm taking Brendan's original one.
It's 82. Abby.
Oh my god! I should've
First
went 82.
ever perfect score.
And I just
Wait, actually-
stole it from Brendan.
That was.
He saw it before.
You know what?
He was covering the screen. He said he saw it.
No, you know what I thought I saw? I thought I saw Critic was 86.
So you did see it.
So I was wrong.
Okay. All right. So let's get out of here because Daddy got a 2-hour drive home.
Yeah.
$5 million
Something like that,
budget, 14.5 million made. And I agree. And from the horror community, it felt like one of the most hyped movies of the year.
I also thought,
But-
I think it's funny because I heard someone doing a thing and they're just like, and I'm not saying this is not true. There's definitely art. This man's an artist. But somebody was like, yeah, and he has such a cool theme of being like, one room is the main place in all his movies. I'm like, yeah, that's called making a cheap movie, bro.
Yeah,
You have to be in one room.
I do want to know because I feel like Obsession is even bigger. But I'm like, is this is also like a
This is my obsession.
social media guy turned director, right? Young dude first.
It's like a troop.
Like I
troop of
can't
guys.
tell if this is a big deal to everybody or just
Right.
But then my mom sent me a picture of the Times write up, and she didn't know what Hokum was. So
Okay.
I do think
Okay, Blokum, what do you think the movie is? What's your rating?
I will say the more I thought about it and read about it, the more I appreciated it. I actually, again, I think it's a better film than Oddity, but I liked Oddity more.
Interesting. Interesting.
I think it's more fleshed out.
I do think it's more fleshed out.
And it's more
fleshed down.
Yeah. It juggles so many genres in a fun way. Like, how many movies can scare you one second, make you laugh another, tell a mystery? Like you said, the fact Knives Out and the Grand Budapest Hotel as the two comparisons in something that I've never seen you jump at more times ever is wild. And,
it's notable.
And that's, if we just, from a film perspective, that is a fun, well-told story with a sophisticated theme. Great. I gave it 8.0 paint buffing goats, which, again, my scores are...
Buffing?
Yeah, like imagine somebody buffs your car, but the opposite. And they're goats. I don't know.
Goats just washing a car?
The movie...
Wax on, wax off?
Well, don't you buff paint like it's...
Yeah.
I know that's fixing
I'm
it.
thinking
but
about huffing paint right now.
I want the goats to go back and fix...
Yeah, buff exteriors, dude. That's you're right.
Yeah.
You buff some exteriors.
Will's like, buff exterior.
Yeah,
I was going to give it a
we see you over there with the flex. Funkmaster's flex. Funkmaster Fletch time. So everyone...
Funkmaster Fletch. That's a good
Funkmaster
nickname.
Fletch going to really come back with
This
the
is
quickness.
something you need to hear.
I'm going to give this movie an 8.8. Irish Goodbyes. I felt like this movie had a lot of Easter eggs that Daddy liked. Damian McCarthy is quickly becoming one of my favorite. That's a word. Quickly becoming one of my favorite directors. And I think this was not as good as Oddity or Caveat, but I feel like it was a strong showing. I don't remember. I don't remember any of my scores. I thought you said we shouldn't have to remember them to give scores.
I agree with that.
Okay, so that's why I don't remember
you didn't
it.
agree with it, which is why that was confusing.
Okay.
And it sounded like you didn't like it as much as we did. That's why I was confused. That's all, but I'm not going to elaborate further.
No, I liked it.
I thought Brendan gave a pretty 8.8 description of the movie. I thought your score was below what you said.
8.0 is
8.5.
I've been trying to lay out my rubric. That's 4 out of 5 stars.
No, but your rubric, I think your rubric to me would be that you would give it an 8.5.
Totally agree.
8.5 is...
Totally agree with that.
Is 4.25. That's what I had before, and
totally
I changed
agree
it
with
because
that,
I thought
Abby.
you guys were going to give lower scores.
Wow, Mr. Lichtenberg.
Okay, I don't even want to start this, so let's please not. I don't want to start this. Please, can we move on? I'm serious.
I actually am not going to.
Okay,
I'm just saying, I can't think of. I was thinking, do I give it 4 or 4.5? Because then 4.5 is a 9. And 9 was too high.
4.5 or 9? What? We're doing...
No, 4.25.
You know what you gave Oddity?
9 point...
No, 8.7. But
that's
according
pretty
to
good.
Nova Gallon, but you're pretty close. Yeah. So you probably, in retrospect, would have gave Oddity like a 9 and kept us at 8.8.
Yeah,
I think that's fair. I also would have gave Oddity higher, I think, looking back, because that really stuck with me as we go at number 30. But I am going to give this one a 8.3. I'm going to give it 8.3 Hokum's Razors. And that's to say I like it. I think my mid scale is lower than Brendan's.
Because you convinced me, Brendan, that does make sense.
Yeah, if I can change mine to
yeah,
8.6.
let's all be happy.
Okay.
What do we...
All right, we've all talked. To be fair, you could view this as, oh, you're not sticking to your guns. No, we're friends. We respect each other. And we should be allowed to be affected by our friends' opinions, because isn't that merit? Doesn't merit involve other people's thoughts? Or do we just live in a vacuum? Did we all take shrooms and we're all alone in a room? Okay, so the new reviews, I'm keeping mine because I actually have integrity. So I'm giving it an 8.3 Hokum's Razors. Dubs, what's yours?
8.5. Paint
buffing goats. Okay.
8.6 Irish Goodbyes.
All right, and that's an Irish goodbye. Goodbye. Love you.
2 men and a baby. Oh, yeah.